It's easy to get used to characters in shows like House of the Dragon. However, with the major players gunning for the Iron Throne, then it's expected that many lives will be lost. Season 1 had its fair share of deaths, just like the opening season of its predecessor, Game of Thrones, and we've compiled a list of all the casualties so far. Watch this video to the very end. What you need to know. The first season of House of the Dragon has concluded, and there were many deaths throughout the course of the drama. Given its status as a sequel to Game of Thrones, a drama with a body count to rival any, viewers probably assumed that House of the Dragon would follow suit. House of the Dragon Season 1 certainly did not fail in that regard, as several important characters from the House Targaryen as well as other houses were killed off throughout the course of the show's 10 episodes. Let's take a look at them one by one. Queen Aemma Arryn. Starting with Viserys Targaryen being named King of Westeros, the first episode of House of the Dragon Season 1 picks up 9 years later, with Viserys' wife Aemma Arryn expecting what she hopes will be a long-awaited male heir. As seen in the pilot episode, Aemma went into labor but had a hard delivery, and when Viserys realized that he had to choose between risking killing Aemma in an effort to preserve her baby or continuing the birth naturally, he made the difficult decision. Unfortunately, Aemma lost her life during the operation. Prince Baelon Targaryen. Even though Queen Aemma lost her life during childhood, Viserys' first male heir was saved, but unfortunately the child, whom Viserys had named Baelon, passed away just hours after his mother. Rhaenyra had her dragon Syrax burn Baelon and Aemma at the stake, in the tragic early death of Viserys' son Baelon Viserys to name his surviving daughter as his heir. Cregis Drahar, the Crab Feeder. In episode 3, the initial battles of the Stepstones came to a close, and with it, the death of the House of Dragon's first significant enemy. 3 years after the events of the last episode, Daemon Targaryen and Corlys Velaryon are still at war with the Triarchy led by Cregis Drahar in the 3rd episode of the House of the Dragon's first season. Due to his penchant for sacrificing prisoners of war to the crabs of the Stepstones, the enemy was known as Crab Feeder. In this very episode, Viserys tries to send aid to his brother's war, but Daemon refuses out of hatred. This inspired Daemon to come up with a scheme which involved using himself as bait. After the two sides met in battle, he tracked the Crab Feeder into a cave and murdered him, then dragged out Drahar's upper torso as a trophy for the Velaryons. Lady Rhea Royce. Daemon Targaryen was also responsible for the next big death of the House of the Dragon, Rhea Royce. Rhea Royce, Lady of Runestone and head of the House Royce, was introduced at the beginning of episode 5 of season 1 of House of the Dragon. She was married to Daemon Targaryen, but the couple had grown apart, thanks to their mutual hate and Daemon's dissatisfaction with the Vale. In the opening minutes of episode 5, we saw Rhea run across Daemon as she was out on a hunt in the Vale. Rhea was thrown from her horse when it reared, breaking her back, and Daemon was responsible for this. Then he bashed Rhea's head with a rock, murdering her so that she might inherit Runestone, although this is not depicted in House of the Dragon, but is strongly inferred. Prince Joffrey Lonmouth. Sir Criston Cole's execution of Joffrey Lonmouth was one of the most brutal scenes in House of the Dragon. Season 1, episode 5 of the show featured the wedding of Laenor Velaryon and Rhaenyra Targaryen, and Criston Cole, Rhaenyra's boyfriend, and Joffrey Lonmouth, Lyanna's hidden lover, were both guests at the wedding. After learning about Criston Cole and Rhaenyra's relationship, Joffrey tried to find common ground with him by suggesting that the three of them preserve Rhaenyra and Laenor's secrets. However, Criston mistakenly saw this as a threat and killed Joffrey during the wedding festivities. Laena Velaryon. Episode 5 of House of the Dragon also set the stage for the wedding of Laena Velaryon and Daemon Targaryen, and the 10-year time leap in episode 6 revealed the couple to be married and the parents of young children. Laena was pregnant with her third child with Daemon in the 6th episode, and Daemon was faced with the same dilemma that beset Viserys in the pilot episode as Laena's labor dragged on. However, Laena wanted to die like a true dragon rider, so she went outside to Vhagar and had herself and her unborn child burned to death. Harwin and Lyonel Strong. In the 6th episode of House of the Dragon, Lyonel Strong, Hand of the King, and his son, Harwin Strong, who had fathered Rhaenyra's children in secret between episodes 5 and 6, were both killed in the show's climactic confrontation. As soon as rumors started spreading about Harwin, who had done nothing wrong in the eyes of the general public, Lyonel Strong had to take him back to Harrenhal. Alicent Hightower, meanwhile, longed for the days when her father, Otto, served as the king's hand, while Larys Strong, Harwin's brother and Lyonel's son, planned the assassination of his family so that Otto could regain his position as hand and gain favor at the royal court. Laenor Velaryon's fake death. With the exception of Rhaenyra and Daemon, everyone in Westeros assumed that Laenor was dead before the conclusion of Episode 7 of House of the Dragon Season 1. The episode revealed that Laenor was actually alive and had fled to Essos with his lover Kari. Daemon and Rhaenyra tied the knot to show their support for one another and as a statement against the Greens. The two had to fake Laenor's death so that they could get married and Laenor could live in peace across the sea. This led the Valyrians, Targaryens, and Hightowers to assume that Laenor had been killed, when in fact a Valyrian squire had been killed in his stead. Vaemond Valerian. Another grisly death occurred in the same room as Joffrey Lonmouth's in Episode 8 of Season 1 of House of the Dragon. Corlys's brother Vaemond Valerian was running against Lucerys Valerian for the throne of Driftmark, and he had good reason to believe that Lucerys was a bastard because he was the product of an affair between Rhaenyra and Harwin Strong. However, King Viserys and his daughter Rhaenyra disputed the allegations and kept Lucerys as heir to Driftmark and Lord of the Tides. When Vaemond publicly insulted Rhaenyra and her 3 sons by calling them bastards, Daemon had him beheaded right where he stood. King Viserys. After chronicling King Viserys' decline throughout Season 1 of House of the Dragon, Episode 8 tragically concluded with his death. During the final meal with his loved ones, Viserys showed his support for Rhaenyra and Lucerys' claim to Driftmark, and during the lunch, Viserys made an attempt to reconcile his wife Alicent and daughter Rhaenyra, and it seemed to succeed for a while. However, as Viserys' energy level dropped, he was put to bed. Alicent and Otto had to depose Rhaenyra and install Aegon as king when the king died that night. Lord Alan Caswell and Lyman Beesbury. In Episode 9 of House of the Dragon Season 1, Otto demanded fealty from all lords at court in preparation for the Hightowers' installation of Aegon. Lord Lyman Beesbury, Master of Coin of the Small Council, was the first to speak out against this and Aegon's claim to the throne. Beesbury was a strong opponent of Otto's plan to declare Aegon king, and he was killed by Sir Criston Cole, who slammed his head against the small council table during the meeting where Otto announced the plan. Lord Alan Caswell, steadfast in his loyalty to Rhaenyra, attempted to flee the Red Keep and alert the princess shortly thereafter, but was apprehended by Larys Strong and executed. Prince Lucerys Valerian. The second sign of Rhaenyra, Lucerys Valerian, was killed off at the end of the first season of House of the Dragon. As shown in the Season 1 finale, Lucerys Valerian was dispatched to Storm's End to win over Boros Baratheon to Rhaenyra's cause. But neither the queen nor the prince knew that Aegon's younger brother, Aemond Targaryen, was already there. Aemond sought the boy's eye in retaliation for their childhood incident, and Lucerys, after being reprimanded by Lord Boros, left for Dragonstone without wasting any time. But while on the run, Aemond and his dragon Vhagar followed them closely. Arrax, Lucerys' dragon, blew fire at Vhagar in self-defense, infuriating the jaded dragon, and against Aemond's orders, Vhagar tracked down Arrax and ended up killing the dragon and Lucerys Valerian. All of the deaths in House of the Dragon's first season were crucial to the narrative, but Prince Lucerys Valerian's is what will truly spark the Dance of Dragons civil war. Season 1 ended with Rhaenyra being fairly vengeful, demonstrating that she will wage war on the Hightowers for stealing her throne and taking the life of her son. So who else do you think will be killed come House of the Dragon Season 2? Let us have your guesses in the comments section, and if you enjoyed this video, kindly like and share it so your friends can watch it too. To keep getting more interesting videos like this, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. See you next time!